Peace and bull, everybody. My name is Jai. Today we're going to be playing Carl Route. Let's start on this route. Yeah, let's see Carl. Because for the final round, I'm going to go up to Flynn. This one, I just been neglecting. I'm going to be honest, I've been neglecting Carl for like the longest time. I want to see what's the deal with him. Because we know from the other routes that he lives in a rich family. He wants to be an artist. It's just nobody. It's just his family doesn't want him to pursue that, which is honestly pretty sad. And he's been like, and in most of his, and all the routes we've seen, we've always seen him missing during his birthday. So we need to know what's happening. What? I don't mind. No, I always kind of feel like a dick with another guy when the other guy isn't into it. Want me to leave? No, man. I just do it when there's nothing else to do. Ah, I actually tried it. Oh, you smoke weed? I was surprised. Oh, really? How was it? I shrug. Pretty bad. Was in a muffin, I think. Carl makes a face at that. Edibles. Yeah, well, I ended up eating one. I didn't feel anything for a while. Next thing you know, I'm face down on the floor and everyone's freaking out. Shit, that sucks. It's kind of funny, but I don't think I'll ever try it again. That's why I should use one of these. It's easier on the brain, bro. Yeah, I just don't like the idea of putting smoke into my lungs. I get that. Again, there's a few seconds of silence, and I try to think of something to say. Okay, crazy shit, huh? Jimmy's talking about what just happened. Yeah, crazy. Wait, but you know how he is. He's regretting everything right now. I guess I'd rather he just wouldn't say it in the first place. What you said to TJ, man, he picks on him a lot, but that was crossing the line. Carl scratches behind one of his horns and rubs his nose. Yeah, I guess I never understood that either. Making fun of TJ's like making fun of a cloud. Flynn doesn't mean it. He likes TJ. I've noticed during the trip that Carl's been pretty defensive of Flynn, even though he's the butt of the most. Yeah, I noticed that like Flynn is always concerned about uh, Carl, and Carl is like I've seen other Carls being concerned about Flynn. I wonder what type of relationship they have. I've seen Flynn trip Carl up and put him in several headlocks since I got here. You think getting older would change that, but I swear they roughhouse even more than they did before. So you and him still seem pretty close. You guys hang out a lot? Yeah, a bit. Mostly because there isn't much else to do. He's got a friend in Peyton that he hangs out with sometimes too. So what do you guys do? I know Flynn isn't really into video games at all, and Kyle probably doesn't care to go clubbing every other night. He shrugs. Sometimes we go fishing. We just drive around Peyton. Most of the time just hanging out at home though. Playing video games. Watching movies, cybering with a chatbot, the usual. I grin. That's sad. I would have cybered with you if I'd known you didn't have to have anyone. I don't know, man. That thing compares all the fetishes of the people I've talked to. It's got my sexuality all kind of fucked up. Oh yeah? Yeah, it seems like no matter what I say to her, she's tied up in some warehouse, blindfolded with a few missing limbs. What are you talking about? You underestimate my abilities. Oh, and a gender swap that comes out of nowhere after. Well, while you're not sexing up a robot, you're doing anything else? He chuckles. Can't exactly get around myself anymore. So I guess your parents decided against getting you a new car? Yeah, oh, look at this. Linzovan pulled out his phone. I can help but notice it's a top model brand, probably around $700. But he's not showing me the phone. Instead, he presses at the screen a few times and swipes me some few pictures. I swear I see an image of Flynn with his pants down, running the Carl. Okay, okay. I'm starting to see where this is going. Except the front is neatly folded up around the pole of a stop sign. I recognize the sign. I'd actually seen it right outside the convenience store, still bent at a ridiculous angle. Guess the town didn't care enough to get it fixed. The pole itself is almost embedded into the middle of the hood. Holy shit. Carl chuckles and pinches the screen, zooming in. Yeah, grabbed my phone and when I came back up, this freaking pole is right in front of me. Really? Carl, why were you on your phone? I don't know. When I get to the town, I don't really think anyone's gonna be on the road. Aside, they notice a big round spot on the right side of the windshield. Spiderweb and smashed white. Whoa, is that? Yep. Carl knocks on his head for effect. The hollow sound that it emits seeming rather abrupt. You rely on that too much. You really need to start wearing a. Yeah, you should, especially with the horns. He shrugs and pulls the phone back in his pocket before leaning back into the chair and closing his eyes. What's the point? To not die. Happens to anyone sooner or later. Why not get out there? Oh. Yeah, Kyle is depressed. Keeps his voice light after the heavy statement. I have no idea what to say to that, so I don't. But he breaks the silence again soon enough. So how's you? You see Chelsea at all? Sometimes fucker Carl went to Pueblo with me. It was only one semester, but we had a lot of fun. It's alright. I haven't seen Chelsea at all though. No, let me just take this. My bad, I just had to look at something. It's alright. Haven't seen Chelsea at all though. It is a big school. Anyway, what's the project thing you're doing? Just a news packet about Echo, really. Kind of about how it's falling apart. Huh? I've told him this already, but Carl never remembers much. Might center it around the whole body and the mind thing that happened way back. Carl opens his eyes and looks at me. So do you need like history stuff, like old books and records and stuff? Oh yeah, given that he's rich, his ancestors must have done something really famous to make them rich. And I wonder if like that would have like his ancestors would have been a part of the stuff that happened in Echo. Yeah, if it relates. Carl sits up straight and grins. Well, why didn't you show so? Got a ton of stuff in the crawl space. Way back when. Yeah, like what kind of stuff? Carl says I heard like them one of the rocks circling the fire pit. He sucks, rocking his chair around. Well, whatever my family kept over the years. That one guy, Carl snaps his finger a few times. You know, the guy that found your ancestors founded the place. That's good. You know, the guy that founded this place, James. Yeah, sure. He's like my great grandfather's. I think we still have some of that stuff from back in the day. Parents were thinking about setting up an eco museum thing, but they never did. To actually be useful. I wonder if that's why like he's actually stuck in his why he wasn't able to be found. All I had planned was to maybe look over some old newspapers or town records and be done with it. Actually, seeing some old stuff up close could be really pretty cool. That might be a good idea, actually. Carl grins. Awesome. I always kind of wanted to look through that stuff, but the crawl space is damn creepy. You free tonight? For the first time, Carl actually looks really. Yeah, at least you were actually brightening up his day. Wait, never mind. Then taking me to a destined appointment early in the morning. How about around 11 tomorrow? A smile. Sounds like a plan. Sweet. Whoa. Oh. Since slamming down on his rear, the chair a crumpled mess under his ass. Laughing, of course, feel bad, but Carl just gets up with a sheepish grin, looking down at the. Oh, yeah, I got some ice cream. I need to eat some ice cream. I need some sugar in my body. Hello, Mr. Goatman. Well, Lee's gonna be pissed. I'm driving down the road. Oh, is this a dream sequence? Carl's sitting next to me. He's in the chair that you broke. I keep telling him to wear a seatbelt, but he won't. Turn down the road, I don't remember. And go straight down towards the lake. For some reason, I can't stop. I brace myself for the impact, but I hardly feel anything. Just glide to the lake. I start trying to take off the seatbelt, but it's stuck. I look over at Carl and he smiles before opening his door. Water rushes in and he stops to step out. Soon the water is over my head. And it doesn't matter that I'm an auto. Turns out it was a good idea to hang out with Carl today. After texting back and forth, yeah, you know that. Yeah, because we know now that like Leo wants to plan like his birthday out, even though it's a month away, because he wants an excuse to be with everyone. Yeah, because in all the routes we've broken into his house, so I want to see what's different now. And also, that dream sequence where me and Carl crash into a lake. That's very similar to like what happened in the end of Leo's route, where the soccer man like we crashed us into the lake, but we managed to get out. I had to take a call, so okay. Me reason is separate. I think Carl's house is a mansion. McLaurin, yeah, we know this, so we can just that. James Hendrickson eventually went out to start an ice cream business, which at this point had spread out over most of the western half of the country. Oh, that's why, like, at the end of Jenna's route, like, uh, we mentioned that, like, Kyle could probably be eating his brand of own brand ice cream. The CEO? Yeah, they don't think. Because you want to make out with him. No, because you like. because you like to make things weird. You want it to be relaxed, bro. Yeah, that's when Carl notices me as around the corner, catching my camera back to my side. He's leaning over a bush with a giant set of clippers. But Flynn lunges up against the wall, watching. Whoa, Chase! Carl's ears perk and he grins. Alright, Flynn. We're supposed to be watching for you. Flynn doesn't look at me right away, but instead choosing to pull the toothpick is chewing on out of his muzzle. Look at it. Still embarrassed about yesterday. Good. He should be embarrassed. That's alright. Wasn't here to get for you guys from the front. Yeah, I'm just doing some yard work, obviously. Rush behind his head. Promised my parents I'd get this done before they got back. Carl starts sniffing at the bush again. He's usually sharp right now. Guess it's because he had anything to smoke. Either way, it's jarring to seem so animated. Well, it looks like you're doing a good job. Oh, he's only moving this fast because he wants now with the chase. Even though the sentence is technically being said, I feel like Flynn's directing it at Carl. Carl purrs his brow. Look at the face. Chase, you can go inside if you want. The back is open. Is this an indoor window I'm supposed to get, or... I'm joking. But at least he's opened it for us. I think that's a good idea because it's clear now that I've walked in on an argument. Should have seen him a few minutes ago. Like he had a girlfriend coming over. Carl sighs loudly and snips start to get a bit more violent. No, I'm just glad to have some company that isn't home for you, Flynn. Flynn looks alone and that annoys me too. You really didn't have the right to be with anyone. Really? Always seemed to be enough for you, Max. Flynn makes a kissy face. I had no idea this was one of the inside jokes or not. Carl stops speaking for a second but starts a bit more slowly. Well, you know, this can have fun, but if they don't have all the parts, then I'm like, you know what I mean. Carl smirks sideways at Flynn. Flynn sneers back, and though I decided still joking, there's definitely a growing tension between them. They're dating. I feel like he's having something with him, and he's having something with him. What you saying? What you saying there, Carl? Carl stops snipping. He's smiling as well. What I'm saying is, you've got no boss. Before Carl can finish his sentence, Flynn turns right away from him. This also brings his fat tail around to slam into Carl's crotch. The whap that makes me cringe. Carl jumps and squeaks before toppling to the ground. Oh man, my nuts! Yeah, definitely wish I had those. All dangly and vulnerable and shit. Anyway, I'll leave you two sluts alone. Flynn sticks the toothpick back into his muzzle, and I have to constantly try not to cover my crotch while he walks me by. He hasn't looked at me this whole time. Once Flynn's gone, I settle up to Carl, who's still curled up on the side, holding himself while he mutters under his breath. You alright? Fuck no. Fuck no. There's not really anything I can do, so I rub his shoulder with a toe comfortably and as he pushes up at the door looking at my foot. I'm alright though. He gets himself into a sitting position before he gets up awkwardly, standing bow-legged. I forgot how much Flynn likes to hit people. Is it because he's compensating for something? Get him back. Still hurts him if he hit out enough. As he stands there double with paws on his knees up around. Carl's house is actually rusty bad, which is rare in Echo. Most people either zero escape or just let the sagebrush take over. Another rarity are the two tall trees on the other side of the yard. That's when I noticed how empty one of them was. Hey, where'd the treehouse go? Carl follows my gaze. Yeah, my dad died a few years ago. That's sad. Dad also built a treehouse I can remember, hanging out up there, playing on a portable gaming consoles with a fan at full blast. Had a fan? Even then, it was almost too hot to hang up there. I walk up to the base of the tree and put my hand up against it, trunk, grinning. And remember all the shit there. Carl shuffles up next to me, still bald like it is. It's true. Yeah, good times. Think about climbing it, but I noticed that the branch we used to climb uses foothold and cut off. My dad ruined the thing. Carl scraps the spot where the branch used to be with the wood. Yeah, I guess it made the mowing harder, and we didn't use it anymore. We just cut it off. I could see Carl looking for a way up too, and soon enough his eyes fell on a branch just above his head. I don't know if Carl's already jumping to grab the branch with both paws. It doesn't look very good. Dude, that's gonna break. So I'm fucking fat on bounce. I'm about to tell him again that the branch is definitely gonna break when I notice his shirt riding up all the way to his round belly. It's not like he's been a bag of lard though. It's a controlled type of gut. All tight with the muscles underneath it flexes. He notices me staring right away and kicks out of me quickly. Pervert. First my moves and now this? What? My brother in Christ, you say that he's high, you look like you are high off a pack. I jump back and he tries to follow me with a bigger swing on his legs, and that's when the branch snips loudly. Carl goes down once again, landing squarely on his back. Oof! I cover my face instinctively, but I still hear the hollow thud, followed by the whoosh of breath going out of his lungs. Slowly, I lower my paws and I find the chubby arm rolling back and forth on the ground, eyes wide as his mouth hangs open. A distant memory comes to mind of a time when we were both 10 and Cal was showing me a trick with his new bike ramp. The handlebars ended up in his gut when he landed, and he spent the following minute rolling around on the ground just like this. Good times. Shit. I suck in air through my teeth and I kneel next to him again, patting him uselessly. After a few seconds of hesitation, I reach over and grab the front of the waistband of his shorts and pull up on it. Even though it's completely deflated, he looks at me with a bizarre expression and swats at my paw, giving me a few breathless snorts as he tries to laugh. Hey, it's supposed to help you breathe. I've seen the coaches do it at school. I'm realizing the clouds way too heavy to arch up like that, so I give up and end up petting his stomach, wishing I could help somehow. Just stretch out. His breath is already coming back, but he follows my instruction anyway, and we sit there for a while, the sounds punctuated by his heavy breathing. I start laughing. Jesus Christ, Carl, can you go one day without hurting yourself? He chuckles too, his belly shaking under my paw. Now you know I don't go outside. Ugh. He stumps back for a while, taking in deep breaths before lifting his head again. He looks down his chest at my paw and grins. Seems like you can't keep your paws off me though. I move my paw, letting him pull down his shirt as he grunts and stood up. How about I just let you suffocate next time? I almost did, laughing while I couldn't breathe. I thought you were trying to grab my tip. I pull my paws on his hips. Is it because I'm gay? That might just be it. Carl grabs the branches that have broken off the tree and quirks at the corner of his mouth. Dad's not gonna be happy about that. Who cares? It's just a branch. You know my dad. He gets up and tosses the branch over the fence into the desert, then turns back to me. So now that it feels like Lucha fucking Lobo just gave me the Keda Quebadora Congiro, I think I'm done for the day. Carl should hang out with Leo because like he can like learn some Spanish culture, you know. Wanna work on your project now? Honestly, why not just hang out there with Carl? But the sun's enough to put a damper on that. Carl says Alea. He once told me that he had over 30 rooms, which is fucking insane. The living room is about 5 times larger than the one in my parents' house, and it's hard to miss what looks like 100 flat-inch screen against the wall. According to Carl, the first mansion was even bigger though. What happened to it then? After getting a drink, he leads me straight downstairs into the basement. Down the hallway, we pass a small home theater, which looks like an entertainment system room with a bar and there's a small gym. The quick glance I get shows at least 10 fitness contraptions. After that, things get more dingy, and I can see how portions of the foundation could be decades old. Finally, at the end of the hall, Carl opens the door, and I can see from the ceiling that it's right under the stairs we came down on. Carl moves his paw around and finally grabs something before putting it down. A light bulb comes on, and I can see there's a little door with a small latch on it. Opens it, and I'm greeted with a musty smell as Carl slides through the opening. I follow tentatively, making sure I'm not walking into any cobwebs. Are there a lot of spiders down? Yeah, because he's scared of spiders. Who's scared of spiders? I don't think so. It sprayed a few weeks ago. It's extremely dark and I hear Carl grunting next to me. There's a floodlight here somewhere. Here it is. Like everything in this house, it's big for a crawl space. Pillars sprout from the ground in 2 rows that stretch back almost into the darkness. The ground is covered in a tarp and I see dozens of plastic bins lining the wall. This is a lot of shit. Yep, it's a few generations worth of shit. I walk over to the top to look at through one of the bins, but all I can see is clumps of cloth and towel through the cloudy plastic. Carl walks past me straight towards the back of the crawl space, his big hooves clopping around loudly. I actually helped him sort of through all the stuff last year, so I think I know where it is. Follow him, but it's hard to see in the darkness. Should we get a flashlight? Nah, it's only in 2 tubs. I think we'll just pull them to the front. I stand up to the side as I watch him push bins around, looking at the tables on top. I look over at one of them and I see home movies written of it in his fields with cassettes. Don't remind me. Look up and I see that Carl's noticed me staring at the bin. What? Carl grabs and lifts of a bin and drops it pretty carelessly to the floor. Pretty sure I heard something break. Mom helped me help her convert all that to digital. Took all fucking year. Wow. Yeah, it's in the cloud now. I've seen a lot of those videos. Huh, really? Yeah, birthday parties and shit. Of course that would be. Cause I practically had a video camera glued to his eye back in this day. I used to hang out with Carl almost as much as I did with Leo once we started going out. Oh, that's nice. I even went out their family vacation a few times. But then me going out with Leo changed things. Looking back, I feel Carl was kind of unhappy with that. We can watch a few once we're done here if you want. Sure. That sounds like an old person thing to do, but I'm curious. Found it. Carl sites are 2 plastic bins and I see history written on the top. Help me carry one. I bend over and I lift a second and I'm surprised how fucking heavy it is. I'm worried I'm not even gonna get it off the ground for a few seconds, but I managed it after a while. If Carl's beast is as heavy as mine, then he's a fucking beast at being able to lift and carry it like that. I stagger after him, almost certain that I'm gonna go first head into the wall. Once we make it back down the stairs, I bend over to set down my bed, and that's when I see a massive spider. Say, "Oh no!" It takes about half a second for me to recognize the black shape and its spindly legs. Oh fuck! I scream and drop the bin, and before I know, it's halfway back from where we came, panting and shivering. Holy shit! What happened? I tremble and try to steady my voice. A fucking spider! You're really still scared of those? Man, for a second I thought my sister came home and then got murdered. You have a sister? You told me they weren't in you. Didn't say that, I just said we sprayed. Just get rid of it! At this point I shuffle a little bit closer to the light and I can see Sal grinning as he bends over to look at the lid of the bin. Whoa, it's got babies on his back. My body gives a violent involuntary spasm as I shake my paws like a fucking girl. Stop it! He glances up at me with that super smile still on his face. Oh, that was gay, but seriously, it's got a bunch of tiny babies on its back. Think it's a wolf spider? So I'm gonna pass the hell out if he doesn't stop talking. I cover my face. Please. Alright, I didn't know you were that scared of him. Should probably get that checked out. Considering that I've almost crashed my car into the garage of my parents' house when a spider crawled on the AC, he was probably right. Just kill it. Why would I do that? I watched it tilt the bin sideways. It's not gonna hurt anyone. I want to tell him that those beavers are only gonna grow into hundreds of more giant wool spiders. But I realized Alcon was this bloodthirsty asshole, so I bite my lip as I watch the black spot skitter off into the darkness. I walk back towards Carl, hugging my shoulders as I try to control the chills running through me. I'm gonna be paranoid the whole time that it's gonna come back out to get me. Carl rubs my back when I stand next to him. You know, they actually clean up a lot of other bugs that get into the house. That's true. Yeah, well, I'd rather be covered in ants than spiders. Basically, he's trying not to laugh at me, but he starts popping the lid off his bin. On the top are a few framed pictures, and under those are a few more cardboard boxes. I lift the latches on the other bin, keeping my eye out of any black spots that might jump out at me. This one is filled with bundles wrapped in cloth and paper. Carl drags the bin to the steps so that he can sit on them and I follow suit. So, how do you think you'll use this stuff? I open up a small bundle and look at the gold pocket watch underneath. Wow, well, not totally sure. Depends on what we might film a few things. There's a paper tag attached to the chain with Robert Hendricks written on it. Who's this? Carl gives it a glance. No idea. Probably a great uncle or something. I wrap the pocket watch and I reach back into the bin to pull out the next item. There's something really cool about old stuff. My mind wanders to who might have made it, who bought it, and how much shit it must have seen. History was my first choice to mention it, but Dad put a stop to it. Why? Pull out various other things. Dolls, a pipe, coins, and other pocket watch. Like this is worth a lot of money. Why don't they sell it? Probably, but it's family stuff, and I still think they wanted to the museum. Here's an awkward cough. Besides, we already got plenty of money. He's got the binder open, looking black and white fold behind the plastic. Hey, this is him, right? Points at a picture of a very dignified looking man. Thumbs in his vest, wearing one of those big top hats. Fox stands next to him. I can see a piece of yellow paper set beside the phone and I figured it out. James Hendricks. Yep, definitely him. And John Bigay. That's Jenna's last name. Carl's phone starts buzzing and he grants as he leans to pull it out of his pocket. Hey, Mom. Helping Chase with the project. No, of course not. Look over at him and he gets up and claps back up the steps. Looking back down at the picture, I wonder if it's just coincidence, but I don't think so. Jenna's family has been in Echo since the beginning too. So this guy definitely has to be yeah, cause isn't like Jenna like coded to be like a Native American? I mean, they're like Jenna's from a tribe, so I wouldn't be surprised if her ancestors have been here longer than whatever Carl's family was doing. So I wouldn't be surprised if like they actually like the ancestors have actually known what's going on and like I don't know try to stop it or something. I take a picture of the photograph with my phone. I show it to Jenna later and ask if she knows anything about it. To do that without a car. Carl raises his voice while I look back up the steps, wondering if I should close the door. Hearing him angry like that didn't feel right. Parents were always hounding him, but I guess they had their reasons. I spent the next 20 minutes shuffling through the bins, trying to be careful not to break anything. I decided I had enough, and I put the lids back on the bins, lining the stuff I pick up along the way since I don't have anywhere to put them. By the time I head back up into the actual basement, Carl's gone. As I approach Carl's room, I smell it before I even open the door. He's reclined on his bed, an arm thrown over his face, the big window above him open. Clothes are scattered all over the floor, along with a few empty water bottles and bowls. Every inch of the walls are covered in posters like I remember, along with a few on the ceiling. Bookcases line the opposite wall, filled to the brim with comics and toys. He raises up his arm as I walk in and smile. Sorry about the mess, dude. It's hard to keep everything clean when my parents aren't here to yell at me about it. The lazy, crackly sound in his voice had returned a few floors. His eyes are distant. It's okay. Are you okay? He grins truthfully. Dude, I'm more than okay. Since there's nowhere else to sit, I end up sitting down the foot on his bed. Do they let you smoke in here? The smell in his room is layered and old, like the walls have been blanketed in the smell several times before. Yup, They gave up trying to stop me. Better to be in the house rather than getting caught by some cop outside. They just made me promise that I would never try something harder. Good thing they don't know I've already tried, dick. Puts a lot of emphasis on the K, as the bad joke seems to dribble out of the muzzle. Hmm. I lean back into the bed, and that's when I notice his flat screen. Just the 48-inch is on a list of video files displayed on it. What you watching? Hmm. Oh, it's gonna be another porn thing like with Leo. Old home videos. Just gonna show you some of them. About birthday. Sure. Goes down the list and stops when Carl's 8th is highlighted and presses play. The back ad within an hour earlier pops up on the screen. Now a long table sits in the middle of the lawn, along with a massive bounce house. Not just any bounce house, but a double giant two-story one you'd find at the state fair. The video is timestamped April 19, 2002. I remember this. It's about 20 kids, mostly in the office, and most watching. Right now, though, the camera's moving on an HO with a giant nerf gun, kind that no picture of the That's what HO me stuff, holding a much smaller gun. Everyone to the next day. Poison it, that might not even be able to get. My kid itself puts the gun to his head, pulls the trigger, start bouncing off one of them. I specifically remember that moment. I thought the hand back was gonna stick, but of course it did. The audio was filled with a deep chuckle, all of that behind the camera. But big back then. I was 8. Still, oh, that's a dick move. That is a dick ass move. Still, you blew out my candle. Oh yeah, got so mad about that. Had to stand back and smiles. It's been a long time since I've watched a whole movie and I forgot how nice it is to have this bit of looking back. Kinda like me when I got stuck scrolling through all images on my phone. My youngest is trying to help Carl with a gun, lifting out the barrel and looking through the opening. Careful! Chris pulls his head back with a jolt. Carl's dad yells and mutters behind the camera. How long it takes to lift Carl into the Carl's dad sounds exasperated but good natured. It makes me flustered knowing how aware Jim was of. Throws the Nerf gun and gets attention of another hero. My breath catches in my throat as Sydney bounces into him. I can feel Carl tensing up next to and he starts to lean into the game controller. And here comes the moment, boy. The disgust in Carl's dad voice shocks me, and I hear Carl whisper a curse next to him as he fumbles for his controller. Sydney reaches out and pulls the gun away from Carl as he looks. Yeah, why does Carl's dad hate Sydney for, like, the way he says Mormon? Like, is it like supposed to be an insult or his dad must be Mormon? Hey! Suddenly the screen switches back to the file menu and we both sit there in silence for a few seconds. Sorry, I guess I forgot about that. Of course Sydney was gonna be at the party, but I've honestly forgotten too. If there's any way to perfectly ruin the mood, that had been it. I glance over at Carl and I see him looking down at the gamepad, ears lowered, the insides red. Hey, it's okay. I mean, maybe it's a good thing to watch my dad. I didn't know he'd say that. I'd rather not find out what else he said. Oh yeah. I look around trying to find something, anything to distract us from what just happened. My eyes found the shelves holding Carl's game library. Wanna play a game? It's just like old times as we co-op through Winter Castle. The fact that he still has the old save files from when he was just in college makes this almost nostalgic. I get so into that it gets dark outside without me even knowing. I'm pretty sure I'm looking out the purple sky reluctantly. About time I go back. Carl ties and pauses the game before stretching and dropping the control onto his bed. Oh, come on. Sure you can't stick around? Stay with Carl, for the love of God. I don't know. I don't have any clothes or toothbrush. You can walk over and get them. Carl seems pretty determined to make me stay, and that's not one reason why I can't. So I relent. Alright. Yeah, this should be fun. Yes! Carl looks happy and almost relieved. It's just like old times. He rolls through his hooves. Speaking of old times, pizza. I suddenly caught Carl's enthusiasm, got to the massive kitchen and pulled a big frozen pizza from the fridge, and when it bakes, we stood at the counter and talk. At this point, the haze of thought has lifted from Carl's face, and he's animated and excited again, swiveling on one of the counter stools. For the first time in almost 10 years, I'm giddy and excited in the way you only get when you're at a sleepover. That made it a little jarring when he pulls out some beers, but I'm happy to have a few and we guzzle them down as we talk about past sleepovers. Pretty sure our reminiscing drifts into the present, and that's when the conversation slows a bit, Carl having the less to say. I try to change the subject and tell him that we should come back to school. He just smiles and shakes his head. Ooh, nightmare, nightmare, nightmare. 3 hours later, we're both laying back on Carl's bed head to toe, having just watched a shitty action movie. We didn't end up going out to get any of my stuff, so I'm just in my boxes, pleasantly drowsy and buzzed. I hear Carl snuffle and look down my chest at him. What's up? Looks over at me and shrugs. Nothing, just thinking. What about? During our past sleepovers, Carl had always been afraid to be the last to fall asleep. He tried to keep me up by talking, rolling on top of me, and sometimes by just throwing shit at me. I wonder if that's what he'd be doing now. I don't know. Life? It's a lot to think about. Not for me, huh? I look over at him again. He's holding one paw up, looking through his fingers on the ceiling fan. You just figuring things out? Khaled's arm fall back down on his head, blowing out a sigh. I'm not figuring things out, man. I don't say anything. It's cool that he's reaching out to me, but I'm not sure I can offer any advice that he hasn't heard before. I just, I just wish I could be doing something. I think for a moment. Then a lot more than some people I know. When you're out is great. You did go to school even if you dropped out, and you were working while you could. There are a lot of people who can't even say that. Kyle laughs, but it's a sad kind of laugh. Trying saying that to my mom. She always got something to do. Always wants to do something. I just don't feel that. Turns his head towards me. I wish I did chase, but I can't. His voice catches his throat, and I shrink a little bit into the bed and pretend not to notice. The bee we had is definitely partly to blame for this. He turns his head towards the wall, though, and I'm guiltily relieved that when he talks again, his voice is under control. I just wish it just wasn't such a goddamn chore for me to go outside. I didn't know, but I nod anyway, even he can't see. He's waiting for me to say something, though, so I clear my throat. Ooh. If I say that you have a problem, then it's gonna like insult him. But if I say it's fine, uh, if I say it's fine, it's just still gonna be the way he is. No, I want to say it's fine, but like I hope that after this choice, I get to. No, Carl. Some people are just like that. He looks down at me, but he doesn't say anything. It's if it's so hard to get out, then don't. People figure things out eventually. And if you just always want to stay home, then do that. Just just try to figure out a way to sustain yourself. That's pretty much the gist of what my therapist told me. Do what makes you happy. He watches me for a few seconds. So is all those problems you had taken care of now? I hope so. We lay in silence for a little while. I wanna give this man a hug. I wanna give him a big ass hug and tell him everything's gonna be okay. I wanna give this kid a hug. I just wanna give this dude, this kid, whatever. I just wanna give him a hug. Listen, probably come back a few times this week to work with that history stuff. Well, Why don't we go out and do something? That would be nice. I grin, glad at making Carl feel better. Cool, let's plan on it. Carl puts his paw behind his head and smiles. It's glad you're here, Chase. It's cool to be here, Carl. And not just because it's nice to have someone to talk to. Oh? No, this house is fucking haunted. Okay, I actually almost feel like I'm crying now. I want to. I want. I feel like I'm about to cry. I remember falling asleep. I remember falling asleep, but it's at that moment that something wakes me up. Okay, I need to read this. I don't remember falling asleep, but it's all that moment that something wakes me up. I jolt and lay there, trying to remember where I am. Carl's house. That's right. I stare at the ceiling, wondering what time it is. I don't bother to look up my phone though, because I'm already starting to fall back asleep. A scraping noise from beneath me makes me jump, and I prop myself up my elbows, listening. Looking over, I see Carl staring up at the ceiling, eyes wide. Carl? I whisper, and I'm not sure why. He jumps and looks at me, confused. He's just woken up. Huh? Are you okay? Yeah, what's wrong? I think I hear something. His floppy ears broke up. I don't. Then his eyes widen. Although I didn't hear anything right then, he definitely did. You hear it? Yeah, like a scraping noise I told you about. Yeah, he looks happy, so I'm not fucking crazy. We both sit there and listen for a while, but it sounds like it stopped. I'm gonna go see what. Suddenly his eyes widen and his muzzle drops open in shock. I stare back. What? Did you fucking hear that? I listen, feeling my heart back pick up now that Carl looks fucking terrified, but I don't hear anything. What? A fucking voice. Fur raises up all over the body as I listen. But nothing. Carl definitely seems convinced though, so I listen harder. I start to make up what might be the voice when Carl sits next to me and get out of bed. I feel myself start to panic. Did some crazy hobo break into the house? Carl gets off the couch. Come on. What the fuck are we gonna do? Let's call the cops. No. Let's make sure first. This has happened before. What do you mean? Pulls a finger up to his lips. Grabs something. What? I follow Carl into the kitchen and he starts rummaging through the drawers. I follow him, hugging my shoulders, feeling a lot colder right now. With the sound of metal sliding against metal, Carl pulls out a giant steak knife. What the fuck? I've been hearing this shit for the past month. Too scared to go down there, but now he flashes me a smile. Find out what the fuck this is. Here. He reaches into a spot between the fridge and the wall and pulls out a broom before sticking it out to me. I take it slowly. The hell am I supposed to do with this? Hit him. Carl stares down the stairs and I follow behind, holding the broomstick in front of me like a sword. I never had to hit anything with a stick before. I had no idea what I'm doing. Once we get to the small door leading down to the crawl space, Carl pauses and we both listen. It's silent for a while then. Shit. Carl looks at me like I'm crazy, not reacting to the noise at all. Shh. He leans down, a paw on the handle. Looking back at me, he signals me with his eyes to be ready. I grip onto the broom like a lifeline as I wait for him to swing the door open, and when he does, darkness. Shit. So whatever's down here is just slicking around in complete darkness. Hey, Carl says it unconvincingly, the fear clear in his voice. After looking back at me, fuck it. He jumps down into the crawl space, disappearing into the dark. Carl, I stumble up to the edge of the steps, trying to squint back into the black. I hear Carl to the right, rustling around and cursing. That's when light floods the crawl space. I quickly wobble around the steps, knowing that if whatever is down there is going to try to escape, it will be running right into me. Finally, I have a moment to catch my breath. Standing several feet behind Kyle as I look around, broom at the ready. There's nothing here. What the fuck? Sure enough, the crawl space looks empty. There aren't many places to hide either. What the hell's going on, Carl? But he doesn't answer me. He's staring at the bins. Did you put the bins back? Look around, I think bins are gone. I look back at it when they were originally, and sure enough, they're neatly stacked right now when I found them. I honestly don't remember. Did I move them back? Maybe it wouldn't be something I might do. I try, but I can't remember. Maybe. Dude, come on. I really don't remember. Carl walks further towards the back, ears perked, looking left and right as he clutches his knife. I start to follow, but that's when I notice something at the left of my vision. On the ground. Looking down, I see something fat and heavy ambling slowly over the top. A giant fucking tarantula. The following few moments are blur, but the next thing I know, I'm going up the stairs, on my feet, and pause, grabbing at the door frame to pull myself up. Chase, what happened? I can hear him running up behind me, so I turn to warn him. Look out, a big spider! The breath keeps catching in my throat. I think I'm hyperventilating. I'm still clutching at the door frame as Carl follows up behind me, his eyes wide. Come on, Chase, this is crazy. No, huge! A blonde! No fucking way. Now he looks excited and he turns back to the crawl space. I feel numb right now. This is all too much to handle. What the fuck is even going on? Which way? Shakily, I point towards where the spider was crawling. Carl squints and walks down my steps. Get around! Crap, if it's really a blonde, then there's not much to worry about. I heard they're actually pretty gentle. I gulp and I don't say anything. My head is pounding and buzzing, which for some reason doesn't exactly feel like I have anything to do with adrenaline rush. It's more like a bad headache. Carl looks around while longer I focus on the steps, making sure nothing starts crawling them up. I don't even care about this possible hobo anymore. Finally, Carl comes back, looking confused. Well, there's nothing there. You know, sometimes I see shit when I'm really tired, when I go back upstairs. There's nothing there. This can't be happening again. Wednesday? We're like speed ran. Open my eyes slowly. The pressure in my head tells me I didn't get nearly enough sleep. Not really surprised considering we were both up until 3. And our ghost adventure a few hours later didn't help anything. Hit the doorbell and realized that's what it woke me up. Groaning, I reach under my pillow and I feel around for a few seconds before I find my phone. The lamp that is curled underneath the blankets near my feet doesn't even budge. That was the cool thing about having Kyle as a roommate. He slept like a fucking rock. I did pretty much anything I wanted to, and I didn't have to worry about him reporting me to the RA. Even something like RA, what is the RA? Even something like jerking off. That only happened a few times though. The rabbit I'm rooming with now is a different story. Again, oh, so the rabbit guy that I'm with is my roommate. I glanced at my phone, 10 a.m. I also noticed I had 5 texts and 2 calls. Hey, sorry, hey. I look down, then nod some part of Kyle with my foot. Judging by the thickness and consistency, I'm pretty sure it's his ass. He grunts. What? I think someone at the door. Some I really dig my foot and he yells loudly, sitting up so fast his horns bang against the wall. He squints against the sunlight pouring in between the blinds, which turned his emerald eyes to an almost mint green. What the hell was that? The hell was that? Door. It rings, they'll go away eventually. Are you sure? This is paw around again. Solicitor, trust me. It's in this house and make a beeline. No one else visits. I started looking back at my phone. Oh look, Leo texted me. That's probably him at the door. I guess my tone and surprise was a little too fake because Carl sits up and eyes me suspiciously. Well, you can go ahead and answer it. You're allowed to touch my door. I sighed a little harder this time. Damn it, Carl. Fine, they're planning a surprise birthday party for you, so go down there, answer the door, and act surprised. What? But Carl's not just confused, he looks genuinely upset. He leans into the corner and pulls up his blanket, like he's preparing to ward off the boogeyman. My birthday is until next month. I pause, watching him. I know, but we didn't have much to do, so Leo thought. I slide off the bed and start pulling out my jeans and a shirt. Come on, I'll go down with you. Carl covers his face and rubs hard, the short fat on his muzzle bristling out in little spikes around his fingers. I just wanted to relax today, you know? It's not every day for you. Well, not with you. It's hard to wonder if all this isolation had worsened Carl's issues. If he really had gotten the help he needs. Then all this hiding out just blanketed the problem, just let it fester underneath. Give me leaks. We're all friends here, come on. I pick up his clothes left on the floor from yesterday and toss it up at him. I'm at least relieved to see him putting them on, even if it's reluctant. I think this will be a lot of fun. He doesn't say anything as he slowly rolls off the bed and pulls on his shorts. Surprise! Happy, not really your birthday, bitch. Bitch! So open the black. Okay. Jay, not on the face. Sorry. Slowly pulled the paper strings of confetti from around my ears and the smell of fireworks stings my nose. Where the fuck's Carl? Behind me and I step over the side of it. And Carl, who got his arms folded tightly, head dipped. Good thing I didn't answer the door, huh? Happy birthday! Leo bustles in carrying two beds. Jenna follows carrying middle-sized cylindrical cake covered in white frosting. Carl perks up when he sees this. Aww, I'm happy that he's happy. At least at this point in time, Leo isn't going fucking crazy. I'm happy. Is that red velvet? Yeah, let's say it's your favorite. Store made. Though, I would have made it myself if Leo had warned us in advance. Hey, I just came up like this like 2 days ago. Flynn engages Carl with some fake punches while Leo sets the bag down on the table before turning to me with his voice low. Just so you know, your gift is a homebound. Okay, so is everything alright with Flynn, I mean? Leo glances over to the lizard, working the corner of his mouth towards his ear. Yeah, I think so. It will take a bit of time for him to settle down, but he already sort of apologized when we got here. So that's the start of the tease, yeah? I exhale. Okay. Carl, where are your plates? Uh, Cupboard, second door over. Flynn's not shoving him around. Carl is sitting awkwardly next to the table, paw fidgeting. So, why are we doing this? It's not till next month. Leo shrugs, frowning. We just wanted to do something, really. I mean, there's not much to do, you know. There are candles everywhere. You have candles anywhere, Carl? No, I don't think so. What's up, man? Hadn't had your morning up joint yet? No. Flynn snatches one of Carl's horns and wobbles his head around. While it's something Flynn did to Carl a lot, The taboo act of grabbing someone's home only makes me gasp out loud. Ah! Carl shoves Flynn off and smooths his beanie down. Well, I guess we have to skip the candles. I told you we should have bought some, Leo. He throws his arm out in the shrug. What? Sue me if I thought they had anything we need in this monster. No, no kidding! You know places you haven't been to since you were a little smaller when you were visiting? His eyes scan the tail ceiling. The place is still just looks giant. Sugar TJ. Carl laughs at a breast. I feel bad for him. Why didn't you guys tell me? I still need to take a shower. Quit being a pussy. Always smell like a skunk. Now eat some cake. I, he seems like the bully archetype, but then like he really like is showing affection in his own way. Flynn grabs up the knife while Jenna sets out the plates. The frosting is so thick it practically absorbs the knife. I, I, I haven't had cake for breakfast since like the last birthday party, Carl. Carl doesn't say anything. He sits sitting at the end of the table, paws in his pocket. You guys sure slept in. What were you doing all night? Shut up, Leo. I want to see if Carl is gonna say anything. When it's clear he isn't, I chime in. Video games, mostly, and movie. Fun, fun. It's something we could all have done together, though. Maybe for people who don't have a job to go to the next day. I don't think that was a personal dig at Carl, but Aaron means the downward flicker as he is. Flynn plops down a thick slice of cake onto Carl's plate, the inch-deep frosting making a splatting sound. Huh. Yeah, maybe we should just stick down a doobie in there and light it, huh? Like, yeah, that seems like funny. Carl, I wonder if he doesn't. I'm gonna be real here. I think the reason why he does weed is because he's using it to escape his problems instead of enhancing his life. Like, I'm not gonna say not to do. Personally, I'm not gonna do weed because I don't want to use it as an escape for myself. But you do you. It's your life, your choices, and if you're happy, I'm happy. Just a small size, please. Give TJ some motherfucking cake. Flynn eyes CJ, who's holding out his plate, positions the knife. Smaller, please. Oh my god, loosen up, you're on vacation. Flynn starts Kyle did the slice even bigger than Carl's was. Hey! Flynn? She says it quietly, but the chill in her voice is clear, and so is the fact that things aren't completely okay. Flynn grunts, then cuts the cake again, this time with a slice that's just an inch wide. That good? That's fine, thanks. Make sure Chase gets a real big chunk. He's getting way too skinny. I sit in the vacant seat next to Carl, where he's resting a cheek in his paw, methodically shoving the cake into his mouth. Everything okay? Hmm? Oh, yeah, everything's good. I'm about to ask more, but Flynn points across the table at us. Hey, hey, Leo. Or tell them about what we saw on the way here? Oh, God, no. It's Janice. Now might not be the best time. Yeah, Yeah, I think we can skip this because if you uh if you've been watching the videos on my channel, then because if you we also learned that like Janice being high off meth is also a thing that happens in most of the routes. Hey, did we have some weird stuff happen, Carl? Carl looks up at me. Huh? You know the sounds we were hearing. Oh yeah. What kind of stuff? Like bumping sounds and voices. That sounds creepy. And Carl just charged down there like he wasn't even scared. It seems dangerous. Carl finally gives a little smile. Well, having a hard head can make you act crazy sometimes. So, did you find anything? No, we're not sure what it was. Now watch out. Sound like you got a pair of hobos banging out in your basement. Jenna leans over and starts pulling out presents from one of the bags. Sorry, Carl. We didn't have time to wrap this up. It's fine, bro. I know you hate these things, but I think you should give it a chance. I'll take a look. Thanks. And then this horn band from Jay's. Oh, he's struggling to find something to say. Thanks, I didn't know people still wore these. Well, they're making a comeback. We saw a couple of rams and then a stag that had five of them on. I mean, we shouldn't even get these because, like, he feels ashamed that he didn't go into uni. Yeah, well, he's mine. Flynn reaches into his pocket and pulls out something small, hidden in his paw. Hands it to Kyle, which looks confused for a second before the expression turns to one of interest. Wow. Small metal rectangular box with two sharp points jutting out the top. It's a lighter. I lean in from a closer look and realize those parts are horns with the completely elegant design of a ram's face etched out the front of the box. Kyle presses a thumb against one of the horns and pushes. The top flicks up and over, and that's when I realize it's a lighter. It's a lighter, yeah. Saw it when I was over on the reservation. Made me think of you. Reaches out and traces his finger along inside the horn and clicks it back shut. Thanks, Flynn. Yeah, now you look like a badass when you decide to get blazed. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Don't worry about it. Got 100 of those plates. Carl, where's your broom? He doesn't say anything. We look at where Carl has been sitting a few seconds before, but he's gone and so is another portion of the cake. Huh? Where did he go? Check between the wall and the fridge. I think that's where I remember seeing it. Look back at Carl's spot, then up the stairs. I'll be right back. Bathroom. I'm not sure why the deck isn't the first place I look, but it's where I find him. I watched him through the panel curtains for a moment, sitting on a little swing set, facing out towards the glaringly bright desert. There's an empty place with a fork on it next to him. It's almost time with the lighter Flynn gave him, flipping it open and closed a few times and holding it up to the light. Smoke wafts out from his lap where I assume he's holding a joint. Quietly, I slide open the glass door and I step out onto the wooden balcony. The deck is, of course, nice and big, stretching around half the house. I see Carl's long ears switch at the sound and he leaves the lighter down into his lap. But he doesn't turn around. Hey, he does turn around and he smiles. Shit, I thought you were Leo or something. Would that be a bad thing? Look over, then decide to sit next to him on the swing. Just move back into the party. I look over him. He's looking down at his lighter, turning it over in his paws, the hoof portions of his fingers being left nothing in them. Those things always fascinated me. It seemed like I should just make holding things more difficult, but he managed just fine. Are you okay? Carl huffs around the truck and leans his head back, his cushion backing off the seat. The question. Everyone's always asking me. Did they really have tied it up? Carl's demeanor is a lot more relaxed now, obviously. I have to emphasize that the thought he takes another hit of his joint and holds his breath and lets it out. The pungent smell envelops me. I just don't like being around too many people. I know that. Well, yeah, but you were fine around this time. Carl rubs his forehead hard with a paw, opening the joint, feeling the point of his tongue. Yeah, well, things going about me. Just felt a bit awkward on the spot. He coughs. That shit just gets nervous. Like, can we just hang out and not make it about me, you know? I don't say anything, annoyed again, and I just can't grasp what it is. Am I making you nervous? No. Aw, that. I do look away at that point, almost feeling self-conscious. Thanks for trying to get me to talk about it. This makes me feel guilty, though. The way people try and include me in things and I just support. But you just don't really force me. Everyone feels I need to do something. Why can't I just decide that for myself? Exactly. People shouldn't force. I feel sorry for you, man. You have the right to do what you want in life, and no one should take that away from you. I mean, it's good to do stuff, right? You can't just sit around doing nothing forever. I guess it's just I worry enough about it myself. I don't need other people doing it for me. I lean back in the sprinkler, looking out over the desert, and I'm hungry. I wish I'm not walking. I'm going six. Are enough intended to go back in? I could go get you some. He smirks at me. You're one of those fat predators, just feeding me garbage for the time to get bigger. You don't have moves. I felt. Whoa! Yeah, I cracked his paws off me. Have a thing for my ass. I look him over as he started to speak. Hmm. Hey, covers his chest. Well, I do actually like big guys, and there's nothing wrong with extra weight, especially if it's carried well. He looks at me. She do. Sweet. No, you seem like you'll be a pretty decent boyfriend. Your boyfriend. Take all day, then off on else. About to shoot back with something snarky when a stubbling finger catches my arm. Out on the sun-baked asphalt of the road in front of Carl's house, I see a thin figure. A weasel. It's Duke. It's Duke. It's Duke. It's Duke. What? What is he do? What's Duke doing now? Carl looks over at my silence and down at the road where I'm looking. Hmm. Is that Duke? Yeah, that's him. Must be on something. He usually is. Duke finally turns around and starts to cover, his paws up in surrender. His lips are still moving rapidly, reminding me of someone who's trying to say as much as they can before something cuts them. What do you think? Oh, let's hope the doors are locked. Carl's chuckling, obviously finding the whole thing hilarious, but I'm a bit more on edge. I don't really feel like he's high. Duke's movements are a lot more focused, a lot precise, but he's all there. And for some reason, it feels like he's looking directly at me. I furrow my brow, watching as the weasel turns towards us, sticking a foot out to take a step. The sound of the slime was wrenching open. Nearly makes me jump out of my skin. What the hell are you guys doing? Jenna marches around the swing set styra in front of us. Paws on her hips. Whoa, what's up, Jenna? Carl leans back in the swing, elbows over the back, smiling. Did you forget who this party was for? I mean, if the guy you're hosting the party for wants to do something, you don't have to force him to do anything. Leo, I'm guessing? No, we spent all day yesterday getting this ready for you. Leo especially. Now get back downstairs and have your party. Carl, you don't. How about you guys come up to him? Because you shouldn't. No one should be obligated to celebrate their birthday because somebody is planning it for them. You didn't even tell him this was gonna happen. So I get that you're upset, but you have no right to say that to Carl. No, no, I don't think I will. Start smiling anymore. Face expression like his head turned back towards Jenna, but his eyes are wandering off to the side, looking back at the sky. Why not? Because I didn't fucking ask for it. I pretend to look at my phone. What? A party? I'm so sorry, we were just trying to be thoughtful, Carl. Maybe we should get you next time, huh? Jenna, okay, hanging up. He ignores me. I think that Carl is around his nose when he read. I think it was a Carl. Carl didn't really deal well with conflict, usually just running away the first thing he thought. No, this is for Leo. I just don't understand why we couldn't do something that involved. Sorry, Carl, but that's life. Sometimes you have to come out of your room. Sometimes you have to be the center of attention. Sometimes, God forbid, you have to talk to me. Well, what if I just want to sit up here and hide? He's talking to he's talking to us. That's talking to someone. Look on Jenna's face is approaching them. Are you kidding me? This is difficult for you. Jenna. Again, she ignores me. Might as well be talking to a statue, or maybe I'm the statue that she isn't paying attention. I feel like something might have happened downstairs. Isn't like you never realize how good you have it, Carl. If you never had a taste of what I went through, I can practically feel the heat radiating off Carl's body. Looks down at his lap. Are you blaming me? Are you blaming me for that? His voice breaks. All we all have a problem. Some easier than others. Carl glances at her, trying to be angry, but you can tell it's not working. Don't know what kind of shit I have to deal with. Like, that doesn't that doesn't the English doesn't automatically solve all your problems. It gives you different ones. Yes, you may have you may be more stable financially, but that does not mean that your emotional needs are going to be met. No, it's like no. Oh, how terrible! The one thing you have full control over. No! That's just so fucking unfair. Perfect Carl's voice doesn't exactly sound confident. The pawn doesn't seem happy as if he's feeling just like Carl's face is bewildered. What the fuck did I do, Jenna? Did I say something wrong earlier? Out of habit, he lifts the joint to his muzzle with his shaking fingers, but then flinches as Jenna steps forward. I guess he thought she was gonna slap him or something, but instead she just reaches forward and plucks the joint out from his grasp, right before flicking it back into his face. He just noise and Kyle flinches again. Without a word, Jenna spins on his heel and opens the door even harder than she did the first time. Stunned, I haven't seen Jenna that angry since she was in middle school, and definitely never at Carl. Carl doesn't say anything, instead rubbing at his nose, leaning back in his seat. The insides of his ears are still flushed with deep red. What the fuck was that? I don't know. Something must have happened. That wasn't Jenna. Obviously not. I'll ask Leah about it. I think he's the one that caused something. I didn't do anything, did I? I shrug. No words come into mind. Oh my god, I think I'm gonna fucking cry. We sit in silence for a while, listening to the train horns. Looking down, I see the joint still smoking up from the planks of the floor. Slowly, I lean over and pick it up before holding it out to Carl. He takes it and I look at it for a second. Raising his paw, he pauses and then taking a drag before flicking it out the side of the balcony. He lets his head sag, big horns dipping towards the floor as he closes his eyes. Slowly, I put my arm around his shoulders. He leans into me and doesn't pull on me. This is making me sad. I wanna hug Carl. So it's over with Leo, huh? Carl waves his controller around like it's gonna help him avoid the three spike throw, almost knocking over his beer bottle. It hits him anyway, and it gives him a little run of annoyance. I grin and consider letting up on him because he's clearly drunk. Seems that way. He hasn't really talked to me much since I got here. Leave out the part that's probably my fault. Carl lets out a weird little sound as I punch his character, is he? With the one getting punched instead. Well, that sucks. Does it suck? He looks intently at the screen. Still, I get the feeling he's not paying full attention because it's getting easier and easier to nail his character with my combos. I don't really know yet. It's been 3 years. Maybe he just hasn't kicked in yet. Takes that long to kick for you? When Tanya dumped me, I felt like I could get out of my bed for a week. Oh god. I remember that back in high school when we were both 16. Didn't she get you into pot? Kyle said a snort again as I flip kick his demon character in the chin. I've been playing Tekken? Yep, and thank Satan for it. I don't know how else I would have gotten over her. Anyway, not to be a dick, but you're better for it. He surprises me with a spin kick and then sends my Angel Wolf character flying across the screen. I focus back on the game and throw a barrage of punches into the demon character's face, sending blood splashing onto the screen. Oh? Well, it's just how to talk to you and Leo when you guys are not lovey and shit. Its words are mushy, starting to bleed into one another. This character throws a flaming spear at my angel, which I easily deflect with my shimmering shield. I extend my wings and swoop into through my lightning bolts. Well, no one really tried to talk to us when we were together. It was like we were making you guys uncomfortable. I watch this demon fly into the air, surrounded by a glowing white circle. Looking over, I see Carl frowning. No, I don't think so. His demon spreads his own mud spiky wings and hover up from the circle. He reaches up into the sky and a red lightning bolt storm slams down into my character. You guys were just kind of self-absorbed. Didn't call me once after you guys started dating. Yeah, I was thinking Kyle never liked conflict. That sentence carried a lot of weight and a lot of views behind it. I'm not about to argue with him though, especially after what happened with Jenna. The lightning bolt was it from a wolf angel, and his demon winner flies up to the screen and flips us off it. Winner is displayed. Well, it's college. Carl stretches, leaning back in his giant beanbag chair with it. I don't remember much of college anymore. He leans back in the chair and looks over at me. By the way, I have a job interview on Friday. Oh yeah, cause in Jenna's route he was applying for a job. My eyes widen. Don't act so surprised, asshole. He hangs out the last words on his list. You're drunk, but that's awesome. Where at? A print shop. Be a production assistant. Well, that's this. Yeah, any job is a good job. Any job is a good job because you're getting experience from the job, and that's gonna help with your resume. It doesn't matter if you're gonna be working at McDonald's, whether you're gonna be, I don't know, an ice cream server, whatever. As long as you have a job, that is so good. Yeah, parents told me they'll buy me a car to get there. It's in Peyton, of course. But anyway, Lynn told me he'll give me a ride to the interview, but since you're here, he gives me a lazy sidelong glance. While I usually wouldn't have any issue with it, the thought of how hard I had been procrastinating my school project is starting to make my stomach churn. But hey, how often will I get to hang out with Carl when the break is over? I love to talk. I love to take you. You know, we were gonna go out and do stuff tomorrow. Why don't we change your look? Get your new clothes or something for your interview. He keeps smiling. Sounds great. So, what's it like? Kissing a dude. I let out a surprised laugh. What? You know, is it like more. He wiggles his paw uselessly in the air. I don't know. You kissed a girl, right? Samantha, right? I think so, but that was like 7th grade. So, was it different? I laugh at him again. Pretty sure it's just like kissing a girl, man. You sure? I feel like kissing different species would be even more different. Maybe. I've always wanted to know what it's like. He says it slowly, deliberately, trying not to trip over his words. Yeah? I say it even slower because I think I know what Carl's getting at. I can see how guys can be sexy. Carl, are you coming out to me? He rolls over to his stomach, facing me fully now. That's a good question. Maybe we can answer it. Damn! Damn! Are we finna make up right now? I'm a little buzzed but not drunk. Are you asking if you can kiss me? He gazes at me lazily through the lidded eyes, looking about ready to fall asleep. Only, only if you want. I've been asked to be this experiment with a few guys in the past in college, and I've always said no. But Carl, yeah, I. The thing is, if he's gonna remember that, because I don't want to sell myself to him, but then I also just want him to feel better. Because like throughout his route, he keeps on denying and denying so many things. Like if you want, Carl's eyes wide slightly, then he slowly gets to his hands and knees and crawls towards me. I was gonna stand up, but it looks like he wants to do this on a beanbag. Uh, uh, I lean back in the bag, sinking into it a bit more. Carl kneels at my feet, looking unsure. Is this right? Is this right? Yeah, do you want me to stay? Before I know it, he's crawled up on top of me. His presence is heavy and warm, and I lean back, feeling myself get hot despite the awkwardness of it all. He looks down at me into my eyes, and I feel myself blush. So sorry, is this okay? It's fine. He leans down, then pauses and leans all the way, and I feel his soft, wide muzzle against mine. At the same time, I feel one of his paws slide behind my head. It's different than kissing Leo or Samantha way back in middle school. Carl's muzzle is big and more blunt, His lips soft and more malleable. It covers the entire front of my muzzle. His beard tickles my neck and cheeks. I expect him to pull back quietly, but he doesn't, keep his paw behind the head and pressing deep into the kiss. His other paw holds up to my upper arm. I open my eyes and I can see that his are closed. He hunches over me closer and I feel myself start to respond, reaching up to wrap my arms around his broad back. He huffs in response and I feel his lips part and his tongue flicks back against my lips. I start to open them, but that's when I feel the beanbag shift and Carl slides to the side. Somehow he's managed to slip and fall on the wobbly beanbag, his mouth sliding sloppily off mine as he slumps down on top of me. Aww. Oh, this looks nice. I like the way that this is. Oh, I have not seen this before. Firstly, this is kind of adorable. I like the way, even if this is like a sexual, like a s- like a seemingly romantic relationship, this is also just pretty nice to do with your friends. Like even I would want this to happen to me in a platonic relationship because like I like this would just be really nice to do in a platonic relationship in general because people are hardwired for touch. Like people literally can get sick if they don't get touched because of the stress that's built up from not touching someone or just depressed. It also helps with reducing Alzheimer's in older patients. That's this is supposed to be like his wrestling fans, his wrestling stuff like Lucha Lobo. This would be like I don't know, Godzilla. The Call of Cthulhu. That's also nice. A grunt as his weight comes to rest on my chest. He shuffles and I can feel the spasms all the way through my own body. Oops. I laugh too, then wait a while. But then he doesn't move. Uh, Carl, you can get off now. He doesn't say anything. I'm about to say something else when I hear a deep snore right next to my ear. Carl? He passed out. He responds another guttural snore. Also, I want to find the artist that painted this because this looks so well done. I like the water. I like the pastel slash watercolor aesthetic. I like how like the walls. I like how the wall has like the lighting on it, but like it's like the brushes that are like bleeding in. It's not exactly a bad feeling. His presence is enveloping and warm, and the beanbag under me is offering enough cushion so I'm not getting crushed. The snoring isn't bad either. It's almost comforting as his breath tickles the hair inside my ear. His big belly squishes up against my torso like a warm setback. My eyes are heavy and slowly I wrap my arms around his neck, back. I haven't had someone to sleep with in years and now I'm realizing how much I'm missing the feeling. Slowly the dim lights in Carl's room fade out as I fall asleep in his comforting grief mixed nose. Give her breath as DJ does that does breathe. Try not to pop the water balloon that's holding in my clothes. Always tease me! DJ whining again, but I don't care. It's always the funnest one to hit. His crazy spit made it all the more rewarding. Even though he's a great lower, he could outrun me. I can still keep up with him though, since he's running around houses. My fourth grade brain is easily able to figure out ways around it. It's not long before I had him back now he's trailing me. There's a stupid dance when he's running back and forth, having his head. I stick my tongue out on the side of my muzzle, following him back and forth with my balloon as I pop behind my head. Still, no! How fun if you're not gonna try it for fun. Except maybe between his fingers. I always throw it to her! Well, if you. No! His kiss was soft. He immediately bends and scoops out the balloon, making out the deep. Uh-oh. I popped some balloon. Stop was popping. Hold it so hard. What was it? There you were. I saw. What? Don't touch me. Don't touch me. I'm not touching you. I'm just giving you the fuck. Just give me the fucking balloons. Clint and Jeremy. Carl must have followed us and they saw him outside the window. My guts dropped to my feet and I feel like I'm gonna pee myself. Keith covers his mouth and I see tears starting to brim in his eyes. I think fast. Go, run and get Leo. He can help. At least that's where I hope he's going. Slowly, I pat around the house, peeking around the corner of the front yard. Ah, he looks like a little baby. Carl's standing with his fist clenched, staring hard, trying to look defiant, but I can tell he's terrified. Multicolored water balloons are scattered around his hooves. He must have been carrying them all in his white tank top. He always wore a short when he did water games. What's the matter, club face? We're not gonna hurt you. Jeremy. Oh, that's Jenna's brother. Huh, right. Jeremy laughs stupidly at Clint and bends down to pick up a purple water balloon. Clint starts circling around Carl and the ram follows him with his muzzle nostril flaring. As he looks the other way, Jeremy throws a water balloon right in Carl's face. Following the smack of rubber on muzzle, the balloon explodes, showering all three of them in water. Carl whimpers and covers his face. I grip the side of the house, knowing I should do something, but my legs aren't moving. Leave me alone! Carl's doing a great job of not crying, but he's about. Hey, we just playing. That's when Carl makes a break for it, dodging across the bed of Clint towards the street. Clint's too fast though, and the ring-tailed cat instantly reaches out and catches Carl by one of his horns. He rides in for a second, jumping on Carl's back before using his long tail to trip the ram up. Carl lands on his stomach with a loud grunt as Clint sits on his back, holding onto his horns. Clint! He stepped on my tail! Clint grabs both of Carl's horn and leans back so far I can hear spine crackling. Carl screams in pain and reaches for his horns. With his face pointing at the sky, I can see the stairs rolling down his face now. The one I can see is open wide, and I think he sees me, but still my legs won't move. Hey! Leo jogs up the street, looking right at Clint. He knees but drop Carl's back to the ground and stares up as Leo gets closer. The fuck you want, Beaner? Clint's weary, his casual demeanor more tense now than Leo's here. A sigh with relief, Carl sits up and quickly rubs his face before standing and running back up the street, his hooves cloppily around all the way. Leo doesn't even look at him, his eyes on Clint. I said, what do you want? You don't understand? Honestly, Leo might have not understood. He's only been here less than a year. Still, Leo doesn't say anything, his jaw working, and I wonder if he's imagining tuning on Clint's neck. Fucking crazy. Let's go, Jeremy. Clint is afraid of Leo, and he left us alone even since the wolf had moved him, at least for the most part. Even though they're both 13, Leo is a head taller and almost twice as wide. Leave them alone. Clint stops. What? Leave them alone. Forever. Clint looks hesitant, obviously not wanting to say but unable to leave now. The Leo had thrown out a challenge, but not in front of Jeremy. Or what? Or, thinks for a second. It's not good for you. Painful. I've been paying attention to Jeremy, but I see a sudden movement from behind Leo, followed by another smack and a splash. Leo arches his back, hissing at the pain from how hard Jeremy had thrown it. The wolf whirls around, one paw rubbing at his back, as he snarls at Jeremy, who points and laughs. Ha! Wetback! He doesn't see Clint running at him from behind. Leo! I yelp, at, I yelp out his name, and he does turn around, only to catch a sucker punch right in the stomach. I can hear the thud along with all the hair going out on him all the way from here. Leo stumbles back and stops with his paws on his ears, gasping. I wince and cover my eyes, only to pull them back down immediately, and I see Jeremy leaping up on on Leo from behind and biting his ear. Leo screams in pain, but immediately twists and slams his knee into Jeremy's crotch. Ow! Jeremy lets go and lets out his own scream, which Leo puts an end to when he grabs the fox and swings him around by the shirt. Jeremy's forward momentum is brought to a halt as he slams headfirst into the oak tree. He goes down. Clint's scared, his eyes wide as he looks from Leo to Jeremy to the front door. Leo doesn't give him a chance though, running forward and hitting him with a tackle that slams them both to the ground. I think I heard Clint start to beg, but Leo's fists start raining down on his face. Now all I can hear are crunchy, fleshy slugs as punch after punch hits Clint's face. And I can hear Leo too. Kiripilia, no me jodas. The sound Clint makes, going from snarling to screaming to gurgling as I cover my ears because it sounds so terrible. Again, I feel like I should stop this. Leo looks like he's in a trance with how focused he is on hurting Clint. But again, I'm too terrified. I run in the direction Carl went. I need to tell him I'm sorry, that I should have helped him somehow, but I was so scared. Even though this road doesn't lead to his house, I somehow get there. The sky is red and orange. Ooh, it's gonna be like one of those moments where like the soccer man appears or something. Even though it was noon just a few minutes ago. For some reason, Carl's house is bigger, much bigger than it should be. The architecture is pointier, different. I walk around it slowly looking for Carl. Looking down, I see hoof prints, too big for to be Carl's, but I follow them anyway. They lead around the back of the house, right up to a wooden set of cellar doors. I reach out to them, even though I feel something terrible welling up inside my stomach. I pull on them, but they're stuck, as if welded shut somehow. A window well knocks next to the door draws my attention, and I get down to my knees and on my stomach as I look intently through the window. A little clear spot on the glass, little paw prints breaking through a layer of old dust. The paw prints of children. The room is almost pitch black, but the red light is behind me and illuminates some sort of a cement ground through the windows. Behind the paw prints, I see something long and spindly crawl along the ground. I don't know where I am at first, so as I open my eyes, but the dimmed lucha lobo lamp tells me. Laying there for a while, I realize that Carl's no longer on top of me. My face feels a little wet and my nose is dusty. Looking around thinking that Charlotte probably went back to his bed, but he's not there either. He must be getting a drink or something. A dull, fat thud makes me open my eyes wide again. I listen carefully, starting to worry that the sound came from downstairs. Again, I hear it and it makes me jump this time. Shit, is it happening again? I hear a voice coming from the same area. Directly below me is a lot more muffled, but I can still tell it's a voice, muttering and cursing. Carl? My voice sounds weak and wobbly in the heavy sounds of the dark house. The scuffling sounds below me stop for a second, though it starts up again more vigorously now. Slowly, I sit up, listening to the whispering and thumping beneath me. One line flashes the Duke, the weasel's foot forward, his eyes locked on me. Finally, that anxiety gets to me, and I stand up, walking as quietly as I can from the woman to my hallway. The kitchen is dark, and I move over to the front door to check and see if it's locked. If it is, so I move over to the stairs and I look down into the inky blackness, almost afraid to turn on the lights. Nothing jumps out at me when I do. But the light is actually making me more afraid knowing that it will light up anything that's down there. I move down the stairs as quickly as quietly as I can, every creak making my fur bristle. The scraping sound is louder now, and so is the voice. I'm almost positive that it's Carl, but I can't be sure. I call out his name again, but it's almost a whisper in my throat. I clasp my paws together against my chest, eyes flicking to each doorway as I slowly move down the hall, not wanting Carl to get the jump on me. When I finally get to the crawl space door, I can pick up a rhythmic thumping along with the scrapes, and the muttering is much clearer now. Buried. Inside. Help. I shiver. Carl, this isn't funny. Again, my voice is weak and unconvincing. He probably didn't even hear me. Another thump almost shakes the house and I jump. What the hell is he doing? Is it even Carl? Did whoever is down there murder him and is now in the process of burying his body? The fear is too much and I know I have to open that door now and put an end to this stupid prank, or I'm gonna call 911 and make everything worse. With each step I take towards the door, I feel like the air gets more electrified, the charge making my fur stand on and all over my body. As soon as I touch the diamond knob to the door and start to pull it open, though, the, the sound stops. I freeze, listening hard. I get the feeling that whatever is down there is doing the exact same thing. Then I hear a series of thuds as whatever runs at the door. I fall back and I can't help myself from shrieking, landing on my ass and scooting backwards with my paws and feet. The door flies open and I'm face to face with a dusty Carl. Carl, what the fuck? I scream at him, my chest having heaving as I clutch it, like I'm about to have a heart attack. He looks confused, looking around, then back at me, breathing hard himself. I'll put this in the. He looks confused, looking around, then back at me, breathing hard himself. I was just. Oh, wait, but he doesn't say anything. He has white dust all over his arms and on his shoulders. It's what? I sleepwalk sometimes. Okay. Same here. You scared the shit out of me. Cal moves out of the crawl space, leaning over to brush his head off. You scared the shit out of me. I didn't know where I was. I slowly get to my feet, still breathing heavily. What is that stuff? What were you doing in there? Just dust. It's dirty down there. Again, I feel like it's leaving stuff out. I try to look past into the crawl space, but he closes the door. Come on, I need to smoke after that. Seriously, dude, I don't want to be alone in the house right now. Please. I look at him and I can tell he's definitely freaked out. I would be too if I woke up in the crawl space. Yeah, let's go. Actually, my bad. I'm getting boom mode. Are you sure you don't want to come over? This time it's a new looking open world fantasy, and honestly, I'd rather much be watching it play than doing one. Is it like a Skyrim? I just don't want to distract you, man. No, that's how I am. I found, well, a bit more for the company than anything. Don't you want to look through the stuff too? I've seen most of it, dude. Wrapped up half the stuff. Oh, alright. Sort of held my feelings. As I make my way to the basement alone, I realized another reason why I would appreciate Cloud's company. The house is as creepy as fuck. I've always been a bit of a pussy when it comes to scary things. I mean, once, after I'd seen a scary movie about possession, I'd been afraid to go to sleep for weeks. Mainly because my nightmares can seem so real. Same here, man. It took almost a month for me to manage it without the lights on, and I was 18 at the time. Now I mentally kick myself remembering that movie while I'm down in Carl's creepy basement alone. Once I get to the crawl space, I do an awkward half run to the flood lamp that probably would have made Carl laugh his ass off. The crawl space really is fucking creepy. Imagine Carl sleepwalking down here, which I'm pretty sure is what happened last night, then waking up alone in the dark. I can understand why he was so freaked out. The sight of the plastic cup at the bottom of the steps brings back memories of Tarantula as well. Shit. Now I have a good reason not to go down there at all. I still don't know if it was real, what I saw was real, or was some sort of kind of some sign, some kind of hypnagogic hallucination that my mind always seems so keen through it. I scan the top. It's a white and clean surface free of any insects as far as I can tell. I tried again before making my way slowly down the steps, eyes still darting around. Come on, idiot, this is ridiculous. When I was younger, I used to have a problem where I'd wake up in the middle of the night and see spiders crawling up my walls. I'd scream and one of my parents would come running in to tell me nothing was there. My dad told his psychology friend, who told him it was normal, so we didn't do anything about it. And, well, look at where it fucking brought us. Over time, the hallucinations stopped. They didn't come back until I took the night shift in my university's campus. After that, I started to get sleep paralysis, and about half the time, spiders are involved. My feet crunched away across the top, back towards the pubs I know marked history. I stared back at them for a second, remembering that 2 days ago the tubs had been turned into to have their side space in the entrance to the crawl space. I clearly remember seeing that way over Carl's shoulder, right before I saw the tarantula. Now they've turned so that the ends are pointing to the front. I frown, but the prickling feeling on my back doesn't feel good, especially with me being alone down here. So I shoved that to the back of my mind and grabbed the end of the bottom tub so I could start dragging it back towards the stairs. Sitting down and taking the lids off, I start sifting through the contents. Again, something isn't right. There are a few empty wrappers lying around amongst the other packs, as if someone had unwrapped a few trinkets before taking them. I wonder if Carl decided to take a few things. God knows why he would. and moved those wrappers 3 in all and set them to the side before digging further in. This particular tub has a divider in it. As I start unwrapping things, I realize that one side is for the hard artifacts, the keys or knitting needles. The other has mostly paper items like photos and documents. The paper side, I see a thick folder labeled biography of James Hendricks. My eyes widen. Now that would come in handy. Is this a book or... As I open it up, I find a bunch of loose papers inside. While it's clearly copy paper, it's old enough in its own right. I move back down to the top so I can start spreading the documents out, not wanting to lose anything. I'm breathing heavily at this point, hardly believing my luck. There are hundreds of pages and I hardly know where to start. After a while, I begin to deduce what this is. Someone's been trying to write a book on James Hendricks from what I can tell. It was Carl's mother, Trisha. Some of the documents were typed out on a typewriter, so this might have started out as back in the 80s. That brings into question, like, whose side of Carl's family is actually related to the Hendricks? Because, from in most cases, like the most Western cases, like the surname of Hendricks is something like surname is usually something from the father's side. It can also depend on what culture it is, because some places in Fiji, like some provinces in Fiji, make it customary that the person has their mother's name stated. I have my mother's name, but that's for a different reason. And we also know that, firstly, the mother is the one that's writing the biography. And secondly, she's also the one that owns the company. She's the CEO of the ice cream company. So I'm starting to assume that that the mother is the one that has the Hendricks legacy. And the reason why the Carl has the Hendricks surname is because it'll just be more easier for him to just have a surname like that, since it has more notoriety than his father's, I believe. And also the fact that it's also his mom that's pushing him to start a life. Getting married, having kids, and running a company probably slow things just. I grin. While it's too bad that this might never see publication, Carl's mom has no idea how much she saved my ass. On top of that, she's got it all organized. That's good. One, one divider indicates James Hendricks, while another marks Emma Hendricks, who I assume is James's wife. A few of them are filled with several names: Marilyn Smith, John B. Gay, Yana Harvey Gay, Christopher Leeway. Finally, the last one I can find is filled with diviners indicating dates: 1825 to 1852, 1852 to 1875, 1875 to 1878, and 1878. Are these birth to death dates? I hope not. This person would have died at the age of 27. Aside with that, my fingers shaking a bit with excitement as I start poring over Trisha's meticulous timeline, using my phone to take notes. Okay, James was born in 1825 to an immigrant family from Ire. His family faced oppressive prejudice from the day they arrived in the country. Despite this, they managed to make a living with James, a father becoming a plumber, a profession that mainly dealt with lead. Oh, that is very dangerous. His father, Martin, was abusive, even more so than was acceptable for the time, and James suffered greatly. The mysterious death of his 5-year-old sister, Martha, led many of the townspeople to suspect murder on the father's part, but this was never proven. James left home at the age of 15, so very young. Tickets remember his remaining sibling, Jane, that if he were able, he'd find a place for to stay to escape their father. Not much is known about James Hendricks between 1840 and 1842, with Tricia assuming that he simply job hopped around the tri-state area. What is known is that James set out west in 1850 into gold rush. Luck struck quick, with James finding gold in a quartz deposit. Gold in a quartz deposit in 1852. First person James confided in about the find was his only friend, John B. Gay. John was a native. Yeah, that's what I was assuming. John was a native desert fox, and he would go on to become James' business partner. This comes at a bit of a surprise due to John's many recorded instances of prejudice against many natives. With John's help, James officially laid claim to the mine before turning it into a business. While Echo was originally a small less than 20 people, it became a mini boom town. Over 2,000 people arrived in the next 3 years. Things went well for James after he became rich, built a mansion in Echo, lived off the mine's seemingly endless flow of gold. His son Jane, who was married with a large family on that point, ideally some. Meanwhile, no money was sent to his parents, who were living in a deep poverty. He married Emma, a girl half his age. They had 5 children: James, so James II, Thomas, Genevieve, Carol, and Martha. Things changed for James in 1875, though, when he was accused of sodomy with John. Oh yeah, because I can. So what if like they were like romantic lovers, and like given the time they had to hide it, so he had to confide in um, the woman that he knew. The land became law. The land being lawless at the time, John Begay was hanged by the locals. My God, it is still pretty sad that stuff like this still happens today, and it's like it doesn't. It's not just about gay people. It just happens to anyone who doesn't conform with the society's needs and is not helping with anyone, and is not hurting anyone. Like if you think about how fucked up time was, perspective of time, it compared to the history of humanity, it took us a very, 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 very tiny fraction to outlaw lynching for black people and for gays and whatever person was oppressed at the time. And still to this day, still discrimination is being held against anyone. Like we've managed to, well, make sure that slavery is not legal anymore. Like disband it, and we've managed to make sure that no racial laws are applied to people. But it's just still so sad. It took this amount of time in the history of humanity to come to a point where this is still being held towards people. James was never convicted of the crime, likely because of his strong family. However, the ostracism grew to be much, and in 1880, left his family to live solitary on the West Coast. Quietly started a moderately successful ice cream business back in the 1880s. It didn't grow into the regional juggernaut it is today, and it was taken over by his grandson, Peter. He died there in his villa in 1891 from an unusual insect bite. I rubbed my eyes and checked the time. 3 hours have passed, and already it's late in the afternoon. Apparently, Carl's game is so good he hasn't even bothered to come down and check on me. I sigh and gather up a few of the items: a pocket watch, what looks like a nugget of gold, and what I think is a step with a crest on it. I wonder if that's the Hendrix crest. I'll need it to take pictures of outside considering how dim it is down there. I lay the items down on the adobe sidewalk that leads to Carl's house. Deciding that it will make a suitable background, I start taking pictures. Hours after the discovery of the binder, I'm still relieved. I was really starting to worry with how little time I have left, but Trish's research has saved me hours of time. In fact, she'd be pretty much laid everything out for me. I nearly jumped out of my skin and sprinted around, still clutching my camera. Behind me, I can see the window still rattling from the force of whatever had knocked it out. The basement window, in a window well. Though I can't see anything though, it's too dark. I stare for a while, frowning. What the fuck was Carl doing? Did he go back downstairs and somehow see me through the window and decide to stare at me? I slowly gather the artifacts back up and place them in my bag, keeping an eye on the window as I do. If you wanted to pull that shit, then I could play at that game too. The only problem is that Kyle is in the basement. From what I can gather, it was the window next to the crawl space that was hit. Looking out, I can see the spot where it must have been standing. The chills return and I shiver as I move back to the crawl space. It had to be Kyle, though. I don't get why he wouldn't have stayed down here besides until I came back. I gathered everything back up and I started to place them back into the tub in the same order I had taken them out of. And that's when I noticed something. At the very bottom of the tub, a plastic bag had been opened with its contents spilled out. I set down the binder which I had been out to put I've been about to put away and reach it in, sifting through the spilled papers. There the newspapers clipping from the town of Peyton. They're incredibly old and I can't imagine this is the best way to preserve them. Either way, the fashion in which they're carelessly spread around the bottom of the tub makes me wince. I don't remember leaving it this way, and it makes me feel sick that I could have damaged any of it. Slowly, I push all of the clippings back into the baggie, making sure it's still sealed tight after I do. From what I can see, nothing's been visibly damaged. I sigh before putting everything back in the tub and shutting it with the lid, making sure it's sealed tight. It's a shame that it's been so difficult for Carl's family to set up the museum. From the looks of it, some of this stuff isn't going to last much longer with the proper preservation. Finally, I drag the tubs back and I subconsciously take notes of exactly how I left them before heading back upstairs. When I get upstairs, though, Carl is asleep. His controller is still above his head, clutched in his paws as if he's fallen asleep the moment I had left. On the screen, his character is immobile, standing in the middle of some hut. A single NPC stands in front of him, walking back and forth. Every now and then it stops in front of me, asking him to, "What are you doing in my hut?" I reach out and place a paw on his shoulder, and he immediately opens his eyes, snoring loudly. He sits up and rubs it on his face, snoring again as he breathes deeply. "Did you go downstairs?" What happened?" It's almost funny how utterly confused he looks. If he's acting like he's doing such a good job on it. I heard some noise downstairs. I thought it was you. No, I don't think so. Things were moved around too. He takes in a deep breath before blowing it out. "I told you, man, this place is haunted. I wasn't joking." Both looked at each other for a moment. Finally, Carl breaks the awkward silence. "So, how did it go, aside from the ghosts?" "It went alright, just 3 hours and a bunch of research." He looks at me blearily. "Oh, shit, seriously? I was gonna calm down after a while, I just fell asleep, yeah. Anyway, we were supposed to get out today." "Rip." "Yeah, remember? You said so a few days ago." Carl looks around. "Well, what do you want to do?" "I think. Don't you have an interview tomorrow?" "Don't remind me." Carl picks up his controller again and I frown. "Well, I was thinking we can go out and maybe give you a new look." Now Carl frowns, clicking away at the controller. "Like what?" "Well, your clothes for one. Don't you have any dress codes?" You don't? Seriously, have you ever had an interview before?" "Well, yeah, it's just I've grown out of them." Well, we'll definitely need you to get some others." Look at his beard thoughtfully. "Maybe we should give you a more clean cut look?" Carl doesn't say anything, instead goes frowning. He put a paw down on his controller, forcing him to pause. "Come on, it should be fun. You can't stay in this house, in this room, forever." He finally does look at me, then his expression kind of sad. "What's wrong?" Carl looks away, then stands up slowly, his joints popping. "Ow! Nothing. If it makes you happy, then why not?" "Great. Just so you know, I'd rather just play some video games with you." It's tempting. Just watching Carl play is a lot of fun, but with his eyes and commentary, but it's far more important. I really wanted to help him out. "Maybe later tonight. Let's get this done first." "So apparently your great-great-great-grandfather was accused of sodomy." "What?" Carl looks up from his phone, his muzzle wrinkling. "Yep, with John Begay. I'm almost positive is related to Jenna, but I'll have to ask." Are you serious? How did you find that out? Pauses. And maybe don't ask Jenna about that. From what I can tell, your mom's trying to write a book. Carl strokes his beard. Oh yeah, she is, isn't she? Well, was more like I don't think she's worked on it in years. From the looks at it, she started in college. Damn, but I do remember her saying it stressed her out a lot, or that something happened to make her stop. Carl seems to be thinking. Actually, I think I remember her talking to my dad about how there's old things with the hours, something drugs. But I already said the house is haunted. Carl's phone starts buzzing. And speaking of Jenna, she's calling me. Carl looks a bit perturbed, but he puts on a cheerful voice as he answers it. Yo, whalers. Ah, the old name. As I listen to her response, I see his smile slowly slide off his face. I can hear the sharp, muffled tones of Jenna's voice, even though he's holding the phone on the other side of his face. I don't. I guess she's cut him off because he doesn't finish. I glare. Here, let me talk. The way Jenna acted yesterday, which isn't like her at all, is giving me a pretty good idea of what she's going off about right now. Carl doesn't give me the phone though. He instead just staring out the windshield as we continue on the highway. Finally, he lowered the phone from his. He lowers. He lowered the phone. He lowers the phone from his ear, then stares at the screen for a while. She hang up? Yeah. Something said something about how Leo's depressed and how us hanging up by ourselves isn't helping things. Fuck Leo. He needs help. I roll my eyes. You know what? Fuck Jenna. She's been on one. She's been on one since Leo's day didn't go the way he wanted it to. For some reason, she just wants to blame you. Yeah. Listen, let's get something to eat first. I'll buy. No, my parents are rich. I'll pay. Can't exactly argue with that, so don't. Also, don't feel like I can leave it at that, so we hesitate. I reach out with a paw and place it on Carl's. Seriously, let's have fun today, okay? Forget Jenna. He looks over at me and gives me a sad smile. I'm fine, Chase. I just want to get this over with, so we can go back and play some games. Outside. Is that all you think about these days? Hey, a lot of people looking to a living. Top of the morning, everybody. My name is Acceptic. Sorry, how does it go again? Top of the morning to you. My name is Jacksepticeye. Welcome back to Happy Wheels. Yeah, I mean, and even those, no offense, Carl, but even those guys have like big projects after they start gaming for a while. Name one. Rablo. That's a sport. Still a game. Still a game. I grin as I hear that jokey playfulness back in their voice. Glad I'm able to take his mind off Jenna for the moment. Well, at least that keeps me active. Playing games all day will get you unhealthy, fat. If you didn't notice, I'm already there. You're not that bad. That's why you're mostly muscle. Then I guess I got nothing to worry about. But you should get out more. Why? I've got an entire world in my game. I don't know. What about? Just because you have entire worlds in your game doesn't mean that you should be engrossed in it. Suno bhai. Think of the best of both worlds. You have the ability to hang out in the real life and be with people. But the fact that you have the ability to play games at all or even read books, that should also help with one in each other. Because for me personally, reading books is what allowed me to connect with human connect is what allowed me to make connections with other people in real life and experiencing real life experiences helped me to understand things in books as well. They're in games too. Well, you can't exactly touch a boot with your actual paws in the game. I don't know. I swear they've got those in anime land. You know what I mean. Already done it. Not that great. You're queer or something? I say with a you're queer or something. I say with a southern accent. Let's just say I don't live with my sexuality. Yeah, as I could tell. Let that sit for a second. That's a pretty queer thing to say. Guess I'm a pretty queer dude then. Is that so? Besides, until I'm able to see my boobs again, I don't think any girls are gonna be after me. Well, that's what we're doing now. Trying to give you a new look, a fresh start. It'll boost your confidence and your appeal. You'll have girls and boys after you. Again, Carl doesn't act very enthused about that. Tell myself it's only because he has to go out. Once we get there, I'm sure he'll trip. I swear, every store in the Patron Mall is dark and covered in neon. This is where we got him his stuff for Leo's route. So what kind of look do you want to go for? Carl looks at me like I'm crazy. Stick to, I have you bought me. To work with this for the next hour, and I promise we can go to the games. Carl makes a big show of sighing, and the food in his face. Well, it's just dress code. Should be that. Carl's getting all insecure of the way he did during the surprise birthday party. Kinda cute. Carl? His voice comes from behind me. Carl smiles over my shoulder and I'm around. Raven? The black and white two-toned husk just a few feet behind me. I'm gonna be honest. I do not fuck with his haircut. How long has it been? Yo, what should I give him? Yo, Mr. White! Yo, Mr. White! How long has it been? How long has it been? Too long, man. What are you doing here? Finally moved back after that vibe. I worked here. I could ask the same about you, Chase. Oh, just on spring break right now. Work in a clothing store now? Raven laughs. No, I'm a store down. I work at Games Center. Kyle perked up at that. So you still in school, huh? That's good to see you. Ra- Raven's accent is only slightly detectable now. Only noticeable for thing about him being his name. So what are you guys doing here? Getting clothes? Yeah, for Carl actually. As an For some reason Carl ducked his head at that, and through his ears I could see him blushing. Oh really? It's about time? I mean, I've had a job. So what kind of look are you going for? Carl doesn't answer. That's what we're trying to figure out. Actually. Hmm. Carl shrinks further into himself, his hat seeming to fall further off his eyes. Dude, it's just clothes, really. Well, I think you should get a red tie, at least. Might go with your eyes and maybe a trim, and yeah. So when are you fat? Come on, Carl, let's at least try it out. Outside, rubbing his forehead. It's fine, but it's not. Only as long as you're out in the shower. Hey, I gotta get back to work, but I'll be free in about an hour. Let's catch up. I waited Raven and turned to Carl. Well, that was nice. Didn't think I'll ever see him again. Either. I'll have to hang out with him more. I mean, I like Finn, but having to put up with him just to get a ride is always worth it. Well, anyway, if you wanted to get out of here in an hour, then we should probably get started. The process is a lot less painful than makes it up. Soon enough, we're on our way to the food court, Carl carrying a bag way too big for fun. Met Raven again, and once we get our food, he suggests we eat outside. Look at my food combo meal to Carl's small, tiny. You're not hungry? Carl just shrugs and grins at me. You just don't know the ways of a fatty. Huh? We judge all the time, especially when we eat. He delicately bows it out in half before attacking. Oh, we are just eating disorder. Too bad. You. What's this thing? I'm trying to there. See? Raven thinks so too. Tusk is in the middle of a huge bite of a Subway sandwich. His eyes on Carl. Quality compost. I can see that she's self-deprecating as ever. You know me. So Chase, are you still dating that wolf, Leo, and no, I ignore the sidelong glance. Oh, ah, sorry about that. You two good together. It's hard to know what to say when people comment on your relationship. If someone isn't homophobic, gay relationships are usually cute or adorable. Or maybe it was just a size difference. But seriously, always wanted to date an autumn. Oh really? Yeah, adorable. Swimming clowns. Oh, it sounds like a racist. Raven picks up on sarcastic tone right away, but it doesn't seem to faze him. Well, yeah, you know what they say about otters and blowjobs. Carl almost chokes on his last data thought. The hell? Raven? Barely know him and you're saying that shit? Carl laughed. Tried to keep my face past it. Oh, what do they say about otters and blowjobs? Raven laughs. You know, never have to come up for air. 10 minutes, non-stop. Raven giggles and makes a visible effort of trade. Sorry, I don't mean to make you uncomfortable. It's just one of those jokes I always hear. You can imagine I do too. And it's 8 minutes, by the way. Shh, I think that. Carl crumples up a straw wrapper and picks it off. Raven's bluish looking nose. She simply smiles. Carl stands up. Hey, I'm going to the bathroom. Raven, don't be. I'm not. We both watch Carl amble off before Raven turns back to me. The dopey smile back off his face. So, how long are you gonna be here, Chase? They catch up. I wonder what catching up means when I make this interaction until that point was dissecting a shock in high school biology. Sunday. School starts School starts up again on Monday. Despite having a head start on the project, Mr. Carl's mom, I still get a nervous twinge in my stomach. I still have a lot left to do. Voice over, B-roll, and oh god, editing. We should hang out. The double excitement is barely contained, and I'm pretty sure I can hear the thumping of his tail against the curb it sits on. Despite my earlier attempts at the stereotyping of otters, I'm reminded how much worse dogs get. They're not common in Echo, or this side of the world for that matter. While others are thought of as entertainers, I feel like it's better than dealing with being seen as a skeleton. Oh, that's, yeah, racism. So the main reason I'm here is to do a news segment on Echo for class. Ooh, is it gonna be sweet? I laugh. No, I mean, maybe if I could get interpretation on the college TV station, but otherwise no. Well, that's still pretty cool. But my point is, it's kind of boring. What, is it just a bunch of writing, or mostly going through old stuff? Kyle's family saved a bunch of artifacts from the old days. Whoa, so you're like actually touching the old stuff? Yeah, that's a kind of weird way to put it, but yeah, it sounds awesome. This outgoing nature is kind of infectious. Smile. Well, if you're really interested, I wouldn't mind helping you, having some help. It's great. I have the next 2 days off. Cool, with us. Well, when he gets back. It takes a while for the ramp to return, but when he does, it seems a little bit reluctant to agree to the idea, which kind of surprises me. But eventually, we convince him and make plans for Raven to come over the next day. As we're heading back out to the car, I nudge Carl, forcing him into a slight stumble. Hmm? What's up? What do you mean? I try to keep my tone light. You seem a bit down. Actually, you have all day. Carl shrugs. I nudge him again and he giggles. I don't know, it's just awkward coming out here and having you two just examine me like that. Oh yeah? Yeah, dude, it just feels kind of weird is all. I stay silent for a moment, wondering if I've made the right decision in doing all this. Well, I'm just trying to help you out, you know? I know, bro. It's cool. Seriously, I've been thinking. Oh no. Your main problem is worrying about going out in public like a social anxiety. Oh, now you're sounding like Jenna. We get to my car and he smiles at me over the roof while I'm blocking the doors. I feel like we can break through that. It'll help you to out a bunch. I break eye contact as we both slide into our respective seats. And I think this job will be a huge part of that. So I really want you to get it. As I lean to the side to pull out my seatbelt, I feel something soft and warm pressed to my cheek. It only lasts for a second, then it's gone. I look over at Carl, but he's looking out the window. Did you just kiss me? Yeah, bro. Are you high? No, I mean, maybe. He giggles. So, yes. Slowly, I pull out the parking space. If you hadn't made a move on me last night, I might have been a little more shocked. Where the hell did you get high anyway? Alley behind the mall. Charming. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got a few needles stuck in my hooves. We drive in silence for a while, Carl looking out at the desert scenery while I squint over the windshield, trying to see through the hazy orange sunset. I didn't mean that, by the way. What? Just thanks. Sure. I don't know what else to say, so I'll leave it at that as we drive along in the pleasant silence. Carl still seems a little sad, and I can't pinpoint why. I'm hoping that it's just a phase. That by the time this interview is over, he'll be able to get past his anxiety and finally be done feeling like a failure at everything. I wake up to the feeling of a familiar, numbing heaviness in my body. I try to move, tugging at what feels like a massive weight on my arms and legs, but all I can manage is to wiggle my fingers. It feels like someone's pressing down on my chest, trying to suffocate me, and something's in the room with me. I can't help myself. I open my eyes. Blood red glow fills Carl's room, as if from the night. I covered in blood. This light would have made me whimper if it was able to make any kind of sound. Eyes flick across the room. It looks strangely empty, a lot more empty than I remember it. As if Carl is in the middle of a move, and he packed up all his toys and decorations. In fact, the only thing I recognize in his room is the bed. The blankets tossed back and heavy. I'm alone. That. I heard a chuckle right next to me, and it's straight out of a horror movie. Whatever it is, I write I write out the line of sight and I can turn my head to see what it is. My heartbeat picks up and I decide to close my eyes, knowing that nothing would come out of them opening. It breathes heavily in my ear for a while, stops. The weight lifts off my body and I feel its presence leave. I sit up, open my eyes again and sigh with relief. But then I realize the room is still empty and so is Carl's bed. Die! Something yanks me out of the bed and suddenly I'm being moved by both feet down the hallway, down the stairs, down the basement, towards the crawl space, into darkness. Furry legs crawl over my body and wind prickles pierce every inch of my flesh. I give anything to be able to scream right now. I gasp and jolt out of the paralysis. I wait a good 10 seconds before I'm convinced that I'm really out of it. Carl snoring loudly in his bed, one arm dangling over the side while his belly rises and falls. I sit up and rub my face, wondering how the hell I'm gonna get back to sleep after that. So, I think this is a good time to leave it, guys. Yeah, it's okay, Raven. I'll talk to you later. Guys, this will be a good time for us to end it from here. I'll see you in the next one. Mother.